Hey everybody, Greg Rice here in the bucket, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And I love to read the old-fashioned paper and the Providence Business News. They do a great job. They send us one every 2 weeks. And I want to go over today's cover story with you. The title is Rhode Island's Painful Pinch Point. And that's a Jacqueline Vogel piece. She did a great job, I have to say. The bridge crisis, right, has almost created a line where Rhode Island is 2 states now. And she says here that the crisis has nearly bisected the region's economy because people over there don't want to come over here, and us over here don't want to go over there. And what are the impacts of that? What are the downfalls of that? And this article jumps into that. And the first thing that I want to mention here is she highlights a practice, okay? They do neuropsychological testing and evaluation. Karen Gasecki, sorry if I'm butchering that. She's been in business for almost 3 decades, all right? She's in Middletown and Bristol. Very established, comes highly recommended, does a great job. And she says here that she has lost employees because of this. She's lost patients because of this. And she said here, quote, "Losing a really good employee is just killing me," unquote. And then she continued on, quote, "Then I had another employee who is fairly new, and she decided the commute was too much of a hassle, and she got a job in the Providence area," unquote. And this is just one small instance, right? Imagine the thousands of businesses that are over here on the East Bay, and then the tens of thousands that are on the West Bay. What is that going to do long term? Rhode Islanders, we don't like to travel as it is. If it's more than 30 minutes, we got to pack a lunch. You know, if I'm going from Westerly to Burrillville, oh my God, we got to get hotel reservations. Now, take that same, I don't even know what you would call that, Rhode Islandism, and you throw in the bridge debacle, and it's literally going to make people say, I don't go to that side of the state. And I am one of those, admittedly. I have property in East Providence, Riverside area, and I avoid it like the plague. If I don't have to go over there, I will not. So therefore, I'm not stopping to grab lunch. I'm not grabbing a coffee. I'm not patronizing the local businesses. And that's just me. Okay, I'm doing that here on the West Bay. So we need to think about all of the people, okay, all of the businesses, more specifically, that are going to be negatively impacted the longer that this goes on. And one thing that's of interest to me is the bridge that collapsed, sadly, unfortunately, lives were lost in Baltimore. That fell down about a month ago now. How long will it take for that bridge to be built? My guess is that bridge will be constructed well before our bridge will be demolished and reconstructed. Okay, similar urgency, but over there, obviously, that's a shipping port, right? That's a major port for vehicles that come in. It also has military installations, and it's more pressing to the local economy comparatively to ours. And ours is still important, but it's not an active port that bridge is, stopping or preventing things from. The port is before that, thankfully, so there's really no issues with the sea travel. But it's just something that I feel will be able to tell us the power of the federal government, okay, how quick they can get something done. So I'm curious to compare that bridge to this bridge. One thing also in this article is that the state, the cities are trying to create and energize the local community with a marketing campaign. And Eileen Harvey, who is the owner of Skeff's Pub in East Providence, she made a good point. She said, quote, "Marketing should be a piece of the state's strategy, but not all of it." Okay? unquote. And then she continues on, quote, you could market the hell out of something, but if people don't want to drive there, they're not going to go, unquote. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Oh, just the thought of the bridge to some people is like, oh, I don't want to be in traffic. And now they have the 3 lanes open, which is nice, but it's still going to create a bias and almost an imaginary boundary wall in people's minds. Like, oh, I don't want to cross the border, almost. Like, oh, I gotta get my passport. I gotta go sit in the line. I gotta talk to customs. They're gonna check my car. That's how Rhode Islanders are going to think about it. And then also, this gentleman, Jonathan Hawkins, who owns a Warren-based company, it's called Hawkins Home Improvement, acknowledges that he has changed his purchase patterns, all right? Crossing into Massachusetts for building materials, he would normally maybe go to Providence for it, Cranston for it. So we're going to see a dip in our revenue, right? Our tax that we're collecting from businesses, and just the overall amount of money that is into our economy. People are going to push out into Massachusetts. People are maybe even going to push into Connecticut. Who knows? But for me right now, I wouldn't even purchase a rental property in East Providence. I wouldn't do it at this time. I would not do it, not even the prices and the interest rate, but just the accessibility for me and my staff. We're located here in Pawtucket. Okay, I wouldn't want to keep them in traffic, put them on the bridge, decrease their morale, okay, to an area that potentially tenants might not want to even live in. They might not even want to rent there. Like this woman here, she quit her job and said, I'm going to just get a job in Providence. Makes more sense. So it's going to just fracture so many things. I can imagine going to games and picking up your kids in school and, medical appointments, elderly, pets, the vet, like everything that's going on in our lives is getting 100% bisected, and it's creating, old Rhode Island, which would be west maybe, and new Rhode Island, right? Like Mexico and New Mexico. It's just, we're connected, but it's going to create that division. And it's very sad. So I hope and pray that the bridge gets demolished and reconstructed as soon as possible for the sake of everything. It's not even like one group is impacted. It's everybody. Like, we are all equally disparaged by the inconvenience of this. And it's something that, how often are we all connected as one and impacted as one? I'm reaching here, but if you want to be an optimist, this is one thing that we can all rally around and agree upon, is that it's hurting all of us, personally and professionally. So we look forward to it getting resolved sooner than later, and we see now 3 lanes on each side of the bridge, so hopefully that alleviates some traffic. To those of you out there that have that bias, even like I do, try to cross over, all right? Try to cross over, support a local business. They definitely need your help. I see some of them here, they said their sales are down. Eileen said her drinks and her revenue are down 21%. They're down 21% in just this 4 or 5 month period. So we need to help and we need to support. So whatever you can do to help folks on the East Bay, please do it. And again, any comments, any questions, I'll see if I can answer them. Put them in the comments field below and we'll get right back to you. Once again, Greg Rice here in the bucket, your property and your bridge dilemma managed.